Hi. In 1 month from now, I am going to be doing a lecture at my local university on parliamentary elections around the world and democracy in general. This is considered a trial run of a little bit of what will be said during that election. I will post this on YouTube. Today I will discuss why first past the post does not work for you, the first past the post electoral system. Excuse me while I look at my notes. First past the post only works for small countries with small populations, where there's not a wide range of varying opinions, and then only two camps are formed because of the relatively small size of the population. Now, there are so many things wrong with first past the post, I cannot mention them all in just one video, but I'll mention a few of them. First, there's the idea of safe seats. The problem with safe seats, the ones that get over 50% of the vote where it's elected by a majority, I don't have a problem with those. I have the problem with the safe seats that elect consistently 45 to 47% of the electorate vote for the winning candidate, as well as swing seats. This system is disgusting because almost every individual member of parliament is elected by a minority of their voters. How can they say they have a mandate? Because the people who oppose them are divided? Because there's varying opinions? It just doesn't seem fair. Now I will have to first tell you that I am against proportional representation. I don't care about party strengths in a parliament, how many seats they win versus the percentage of their vote. I am against proportional representation. But I am also against first past the post. In a subsequent video, I will tell you what my preferred electoral system is. It's not proportional, but I'm definitely against first past the post. Now, having said, now that I have gotten this said about that I'm against proportional representation, the problem with first past the post is not the political fortunes of a political party or of a prime minister or of MPs. It's not politicians' political fortunes. It's that maybe, perhaps under first past the post, only a third of the electorate are actually represented in parliament. They casted a vote for a winning candidate. Under first past the post, you do not vote for your political party. You vote for a candidate in your district. I concede that some vote based on party lines, but you cannot help the strengths of a political party very much. You can only help your individual member of parliament win within a swing seat. You ultimately cast your vote for the person, not the party. That's how this system works. And and like I said, I don't care which party gets a majority or a minority of seats. I don't care about how many seats they win. What I care about is the fact that so many people cast a vote and then they do not get their representation in parliament. Let's say they would get their party elected into parliament, but not in their district. You may say the leader of a political party speaks on your behalf. You may say a certain MP speaks for you, but he is not your MP, he's not in your district. He may agree with many of your views, but you can't help him get elected because you live in another district. So he doesn't speak for you, he speaks for Another group of people, not you. You are stuck with an MP that you did not vote for. Now, excuse me while I look at my notes. Okay, I'm going to take an example of a recent general election that took place last year under the system of first past the post. The United Kingdom general election of 2010. Now, as I said before, I don't care for proportional representation, so I'm not going to give you the percentages of votes over the percentage of seats for each political party. My concern, I must emphasize, is the fact that most people cast a vote that did not help someone get elected. Only a small percentage of people actually cast a winning vote. A parliament is supposed to represent everybody. The government is supposed to represent the majority, but a parliament has to have opposing views represented as well. A parliament is supposed to represent everyone in the country. Well, at least the majority. This, in the United Kingdom Parliament, the House of Commons, the majority are not represented. Remember, it's not political parties, it's the fact that you cast a vote for a candidate that is not in the House of Commons. Let's see. Let us look at the numbers. Eligible voters in the United Kingdom on May 2010, May 6, 2010, was 45,597,461. The votes that went to winning candidates was 14,002,295. Rejected votes was 303,867. Valid votes overall was 29,687,604, which means rejected votes combined with valid votes was 29,991,471 votes cast out of the eligible voters of 45 million, which I mentioned earlier. So, when you subtract the number of the winning votes from the eligible voters, the winning votes from the number of eligible voters, there are 31,595,176 people not represented in the British House of Commons. That's a shock. Wouldn't you agree? Only 14,002,295 people deserve representation? That doesn't seem fair to me. However, I must emphasize, that this might be a bit misleading because I have to look at the rejected votes as well. 303,867 votes. We don't know if they went to losing candidates or winning candidates. But either way, it doesn't affect the overall numbers that much. It's still overwhelmingly unfair that so many people are not represented. Now, we look at the percentages here. Turnout was 65.77. The percentage of people casting winning votes out of the votes cast, out of those who voted, not overall, okay? Out of those who voted, the percentage of people who voted for a winning candidate was 47.17%. The people who cast votes for losing candidates was 52.83%. Now, you see, 47.17% is not is only of the people who voted. What about the people who did not vote? So then the people who did not vote, it gets even worse. And why don't they vote? Because they feel their vote doesn't matter. Now, I am very poor at mathematics when I was in school, so I don't know the percentage, the overall percentage of people represented versus the percentage of people unrepresented. I don't have those percentages because I can't calculate, I don't know how to calculate, 47.17% out of turnout of 65.77%. So out of 100%, I don't know how many people are represented. But I think it is either a little bit over a third or just under a third. Keep this in mind. So I say this to advocates of first past the post. Does that sound fair to you? And if you are for first past the post, and let's say you cast a winning vote, you have your representation. How do you feel about the people who agree with you who live in another district casting votes for a losing candidate? They don't have their representation. So if you have your representation and people who agree with your views don't have their representation, don't you feel sorry for them? I will point something out. The Conservative Party of the United Kingdom is for first past the post. They're crazy about it. They think it's the best system in the universe. So I say this to Tory voters in the United Kingdom. How do you feel about those poor Tory voters who are in safe Labour seats? Where's their representation? That Labour MP doesn't speak for them. How can you speak for them? How can your MP, which you have, we voted for and you have, represent those people who can't vote for your MP? And how, don't you feel sorry that they don't have a voice, but you do? Think about that. Thanks for listening.